your 60% performance is greater than the other 50 some people's combined 100% performance. And I was like, that math don't work. So as I was growing as a young leader, I had to learn the language of what helps get my people the resources they need to be successful. And in my world, that language was math. And so I'm going to teach you how you can use math to make yourself more effective. Make yourself better. Make your team effective. Understand, being able to understand and communicate in a language that will get you the resources that you need for your people to be great.
I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. As a leader of Marines, and some way that just helps leadership teams become more effective, that creates that propulsion to excellence. I have learned that the numbers don't lie. It's about using the numbers as well to help make decisions. And if you can't show the people who are making the decisions the numbers, you're not going to win their support. So we're going to talk basic mathematical equations that you'll need to be successful.
So I've been working through an injury this last couple of weeks and I'm not at 100%. But my coach has told me this mathematical formula. I'd rather have let's say I'm 40% right now. I'd rather have 40% of you coming in here giving all 40% into a workout. Because 40% divided by 40% equals 100%.
Here's another equation that you can use to show personal growth for yourself. We all know that 1 times 1 equals 1, right? So if we're doing the same thing over and over, it's a 1. And we do that for 365 days. So we go 1 times 1, doing the same thing over and over again every day for 365 days. It still equals 1. You haven't grown. But let's say you're 1% better each day. Just one little thing, that 1% that's better each day. You take that 1 times that 1.01 and we take that to 365. You know what that equals? 37.78. That to that is a 37 times difference. You've increased in 1 year 37 times of what you did by doing nothing. Let's be honest. If you're not growing, you're dying, so you're never going to maintain 1, it's going to drop. So this number will actually increase.
One of the best things I ever heard was just the last 2 months, and that was I got a phone call asking why I left the organization. And my answer was I didn't feel like, or I was embarrassed about my performance, and that I needed to step away to rebuild myself, to be able to determine how I can be a better, more effective participant or contributor to the organization. Well, the president of that organization was like, look, Eric, your 60% performance is greater than the other 50 some people's combined 100% performance. And I was like, that math don't work, but let me show you how it does work.
Same as the 80-20 rules, works with people as well. We find that most of the results come from 20% of the population, in which I find myself in that 20% creating 80% of our results.
All right, let's take team leadership. This math, we're going to use Excel spreadsheet. I see these first-time managers or even some of these older directors who taking on this, everyone's got to give their best. But they don't understand that humans are not perfectly efficient. Especially my engineering leaders. They don't understand that they can't get everyone to operate at 110% optimization at the same time. Some of the greatest teams that I've seen, some of the greatest organizations I've seen, don't have everybody operating at 110%. It's usually Somebody's at 70%, somebody's at 60%, somebody's got 100% going, but nobody is operating in the red range. Why? Because it's not possible. I'm going to show you the math that will help you as a leader understand how to get the most out of your people, but still keep them as united as a team. First, we have, it's a typical Wednesday. Why Wednesday? Why not? Okay. Team member 1 is having a so-so day. They're operating at 75%. Team member 2 just found a new boyfriend and she's on top of the world and can take on anybody. And then member 3 is the brand new hire that you just got and they're excited to start, but they don't have all the skills you need yet. But 90% is still pretty good for a newbie, but because they're wanting to learn, they're wanting to be there. Then you have member 4 who just had a personal issue. Whatever happened, and it's just really got them down, and 40% is the best they can do. This is where, from personal experience, taught me that I'll take a 40% of somebody versus a 0% of nobody. So yes, we're averaging 76%. That's pretty good. What happens if I try to whip everyone on another day to be their best, at their best? Well, member 1, we got 75%. Maybe they respond in traditional psychological terms. We'll say 4% better, just because you motivated them. We did something that motivated them. So they're at 79%. Member 2, cloud 9, bulletproof. You probably just squeak out a little bit more out of them. The new team member, member 3, you're going to give them something that's within their wheelhouse. Let's say they're great with creating an Excel spreadsheet for you. So they're giving you their best at what you asked for, and they give you their 100%. But team member 4 is feeling left out, and they're not budging. They're not going to budge. So now we have, all we did was increase by 4 by just trying to motivate them. We've increased from 76% to 80%. That will only last for a day or two. Usually the day. So let's take the next day. We motivated them, and now we go to the next day. Member 1, still operating at 75%. Member 2, back to their normal abilities, and we know they're at 95%. Newbie is starting to feel overwhelmed. The new hire is now probably at 85%. And member 4 is that close to quitting if you push him or her too far. So we're not going to mess with that. We're going to keep that at 40%. What does the next day look like? 74%. Guess what? That's still good. I've only dropped 2% for doing nothing. Can I motivate them again? Maybe, but I'm still going to take this 74% over that because it's still within the standard of what our team can operate at. Our team can normally operate at 76%. And even if they had a bad day, even if our people had a bad day, what's the lowest they can go? 70%. That is only a drop of 6% points. That is still within the normal standard deviation. And that should let you know that no matter how much you push, how much you don't push, your range is from 70 to 80. And that's a good thing. So when you have 75%, you're having a good day. If you're down with 70%, guess what? It just is a bad day. Does it mean that you have to fire everyone? No, you don't. But the math shows that your team as a combination creates more at 70% than anybody else does. Be happy with that. Hell, I'm happy when I saw how the deviation pops up. I'm like, yes. And the reason why I'm showing you this is one person can have a bad day and another person can have a great day. And as Seinfeld says, is one friend is up and the other friend's down, I am perfectly level. And so is your team. One person has a great day, picks up the pace for somebody who doesn't have a great day. That should be the way you think of your leadership, is that your teams, you're motivating your teams to be able to go, I need somebody to step up today because we're not going to be able to sustain it forever. One person steps up while another person needs that time to recover. And that's how great teams succeed. There's some other great mathematical equations that are more in depth than what I want to cover today. Things like game theory, Pareto's principle, which is the 80-20 rule. 80-20 means 80% of your results come from 20% of the effort. Network effects, geometric progression, regression to the mean, and fractal patterns. There is so much math out there that if you are willing and able to learn as much as you can, the continuous growth that we just talked about, you're going to be able to create a sense of urgency to support you in your efforts, to bring people along on your journey to do greater things. Sometimes the math is greater than the spoken word. And by showing them the math, you have given people more incentive to join you on this great adventure. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. If you like this video, hey, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up. While you're at it, hey, hit subscribe. Tell YouTube that you like what you're seeing here and that you want more. If you missed last week's video, check it out right over here. It's about your legacy and how important it is to you. And then, of course, any other video that you might have missed is right here waiting for you to have a chance to learn more. We'll talk to you again next week.